Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Governor Whitmer announcing a dramatic pullback on restrictions statewide in the battle against COVID-19.
Another day of protests and calls for justice in the death of George Floyd, and anyone taking part should know some important things about risks to their health.
As we come to you with Local 4 News at 6 in several cities today across the U.S., we have seen protests in honor of George Floyd, the Minnesota man who was killed after having a police officer's knee on his neck for several minutes. We've got team coverage of the George Floyd protests. Local 4 defender Sean Lay looking into the people who came from out of town to start trouble at Detroit's protests over the weekend.
But let's start with Tim Pamplin in Troy, where a protest is underway outside the Somerset Collection. Tim.
Yeah, the protest is on the move. Now, remember earlier we were up on Coolidge, just south of Big Beaver. Now we're marching down Big Beaver. This is eastbound Big Beaver, shut down now by the protest. About 500 strong, making their move past Somerset Collection with all manner of signs and grievances by the seams of it. But of course, as you say, the underlying theme here is the death of George Floyd last week. So again, the protesters, this organized by an organization called BAM, by any means necessary. They're got about 500 people here making their way down Big Beaver Road. Now, Detroit Police Department is about a mile down. Not sure if that's where they're heading to, but we'll stay on the scene here and bring updates when available. Back to you guys.
Tim, thanks a lot. Well, let's talk now about what we've learned regarding who was in downtown Detroit over the weekend causing trouble with police while others were protesting peacefully. Local 4 defender Sean Lay has information on the people who came here from out of town with seemingly ill intentions. Sean.
Good evening, Kimberly. Good evening, everyone. We're talking about a very small group of people that came to town. We're hearing from Detroit police and federal sources telling us that they are under an intense investigation here. Let me show you one photo here. We're talking about a small group that came here to cause chaos and violence. This is a cardboard box meant for protein bars, but it's filled with railroad spikes. Those spikes intended to be thrown at Detroit police officers.
Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
City after city, we are seeing the same pattern here. Peaceful protests in the name of George Floyd by day, and when the sun goes down, things turn violent. Lansing last night, windows shattered. Grand Rapids the night before, cars set on fire. Larger cities, we're watching cities burning out of control. FBI sources saying in many cases, outsiders coming in at night to cause chaos. Local 4 defenders revealing that Detroit police and the FBI here are tracking those same types of outsiders.
These criminals, I'm not talking about protesters. You see this as a protein bar box. But it's not the box, it's what's inside of it. Spikes, railroad spikes.
Now today we see that agenda up close and very personal. Railroad spikes used to throw at Detroit police over the weekend. The intention to incite as much violence as possible.
This is for police officers. Sustain significant injury if they're struck by this.
We're very much on top of the fact that embedded in this group of largely outside protesters was a very organized small group of people who were instigating violence.
Back here live, I'm told by sources that federal authorities are able to track cell phone data from some of the outside protesters here to be a step ahead of their every move. Some people arrested from Washington, D.C., one person from Nashville, one person from Piqua, Ohio, that's right down near Dayton. We've also seen scenes here where Detroiters have stopped people from doing property damage, saying you will not come into our city and attack police officers and destroy personal property. Protests just went around the corner. We're following its every move. We're live downtown tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4 Defenders.
Okay, Sean, thanks.
Reverend Wendell Anthony says he is proud to see the diversity of people who are standing up for what they believe in.
But he says the end game shouldn't be protest, but rather policy change.
Until we take our energy, young people, and take our souls to the polls and elect people that have your interests at heart. Prosecutors are elected. Judges are elected. Those of you who were arrested and got to go before a judge, they're elected, which means you need to take your souls to the polls and vote to make sure there are judges on the bench when it comes time for you to have a defense that have your interests and know something about the pain that you've experienced.
Now, of course, all of this taking place in the midst of a pandemic, and those large crowds triggered a lot of concern among health experts. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge here with the steps you need to take if you're part of these crowds. Frank?
First off, I want to acknowledge that I understand why people felt compelled to go out, but that does not change the fact that large public gatherings remain a high-risk situation right now. We know that the coronavirus is still circulating in our communities, and obviously many people in the crowds were not wearing masks. Furthermore, shouting is known to increase the rate of virus aerosolization, meaning more virus is being put out into the air than if you were just speaking. Now, on top of that, even if you were wearing a mask, there was no social distancing. Now, we also know that many people came from different areas to participate in these events, including areas where the virus may not have been as prevalent. That may increase the risk of spread in less hard-hit communities. Now, medically speaking, if you participated in any of these recent mass gatherings, it would be in your best interest, your community's best interest, and your family and close contacts' best interest to isolate yourself for the next 14 days until you're sure that you're free of infection. The incubation time is generally somewhere between 5 and 14 days, so you should watch yourself for symptoms, which can include fever, shortness of breath, muscle pain, sore throat, loss of taste or smell, vomiting, or diarrhea. If you have any symptoms, you should immediately seek testing. Now, even if you do not develop symptoms, many areas are offering tests for minimally symptomatic or even asymptomatic people. And if at all possible, you should get tested after about 7 to 14 days from your exposure. Remember, you may not be symptomatic, but you can still spread the virus if you were infected. Back to you.
All right, Frank, and you can find more information about where to get tested, and that's at clickondetroit.com.
All right, turning now to that major announcement from Governor Whitmer today. The stay-home order, first announced in March, is officially lifted and restrictions eased on more businesses, services, and activities.
All of these changes on the condition that strict social distancing measures be followed. Here is what the next week of openings looks like. Effective immediately, groups of 100 or fewer can gather outdoors. This Thursday, which is June 8th, retailers can reopen to customers, and you don't have to have an appointment now.
And then on Monday, June 8th, restaurants can open for dining in, but only at half capacity. Outdoor fitness classes, sports practices, training sessions, and games can be held with everyone 6 feet apart. Also, public pools can reopen.
Also getting the okay next Monday, drive-in movie theaters, libraries, museums, and parks, and office work that is not able to be performed at home. That may now resume. We've got the full list at clickondetroit.com. For more on the impact of all these changes, we bring in business editor Rob Maloney. And Rod, this could mean a lot of money stays here instead of, as we've watched, go to other states.
Well, yes, I mean, that opens up our economy and should help the deficit at least somewhat. But here's the thing, we're seeing on social media that a lot of people are packing up, especially on the border counties, and going to Ohio and Indiana, getting their hair done, their nails done. And that's still money leaking over the state, and that's part of the list of things that remains closed. The governor's a bit defensive about that, too, when we asked her.
We're taking a big step forward today. It's undeniable. The fact that we've gone from a moment where we've said, everyone needs to stay home except for these essential things, to now it's okay to re-engage except for a few of these things that still are too risky. That's our judgment.
Well, it's more than a few things. This is the list of the governor's order that will remain closed. Indoor gyms, exercise studios, fitness centers, spas, hair salons, and movie theaters. The governor taking exception with people going south of the border.
I tell people, if you're like me, you need a haircut desperately, couple more weeks of this, and we may be back in a place where we're able to do that safely.
And the list goes on. Nail salons, body piercing shops, tattoo parlors, a big one for Detroit and its finances, casinos, and travel and troop camps that accept children for more than one day. Then there are the amusement and trampoline parks, arcades, bingo halls, bowling alleys, indoor climbing, dance areas, and skating rinks. But back to the hair and the nail salons.
And so if you're one of those people that's going to Ohio, I pray that you are doing your part not to bring COVID-19 home. And that if you haven't resorted to that, Google how to do a haircut, or throw your hair in a ponytail or curl it and get through the next couple of weeks, and we can resume some of these things.
And the next couple of weeks, of course, being the governor's target for getting the rest of the state to phase 5. And she says she wants to do that before the 4th of July weekend. One other thing, for all those cans and bottles in your garage or basement that's stacked up, well, you can bring those back on the 15th. Reporting live in Diamonddale near Lansing, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
We talked last week about how many bottles and cans that amounts to. Yeah, all right, Rod.
Well, while some restaurant and bar owners are welcoming the next phase, the change doesn't make a lot of sense for some smaller independent restaurants.
Yeah, the owner of Pisano's in St. Clair Shores, for example, says he will likely stay the course.
It's not really worth hiring the dishwashers, having the extra staff on here for half of what I could possibly do, And I understand that, it's not a good idea to have this full throttle because of, we don't know, we're uncertain about the virus still. So I like what's going on right now, and until further notice, I think once it's 100%, maybe then it would be worth going, either that or I'm not going to open up every day.
Yeah, Pisano's, I think, sharing the experience that a lot of people are sensing right now. We'll see how this goes. Now, one of the largest universities in the state is planning to fire up its fall semester early.
Central Michigan will start the fall 2 weeks earlier than normal on August 17th and end on November 25th. The goal is to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19 and influenza once flu season starts. And Michigan State University announced a similar policy last week. MSU will start as normal but end in-person instruction November 25th and do the rest of the semester online.
Pretty nice start to the work week. Let's head to Ben's place. Ben?
Nice today, maybe not so much once we get into tomorrow night. We'll look at an increasingly higher chance of seeing severe weather coming up next.
Okay, Ben, and just ahead, a local city reopens its city hall, but things will look very different inside. We'll have a look coming up.